Hi everybody and welcome to lesson 6 of our Mover Robot unit, and this time we're looking at different routes and ways of getting. So we've looked at the directions, we've looked at forwards, backwards, left, right, we've looked at how they can be put together to build up a program so we can get from one place to another. So this time we're looking at those routes, those different ways we can get to one place or another. So there is often more than one way to get somewhere. We did touch on that, where we looked at 2 different ways to get from one place to another. Today we're going to look for those different routes and try them out. So this time we're using some cards here to pick a start and an end place. So we've got the owl. Okay, so here we are. So we're starting on the castle and we're ending in the woods. So you can see up here is we've got the castle and there we've got the woods. And we're going to think about how we can draw 2 or 3 different routes between the start and end places. So have a think, pause the video for a second, look at the route that you think the robot should take. Okay, so what you might have seen is that there are a couple of routes we could take to get from the castle to the woods. So you might have thought of that route. If you look where the arrow is, where we went across to the owl and down to the woods. So is there another way? Yeah, so we could go down, all the way down and round up to the woods. And you might have thought of another one, but okay, so there are always a couple of different options to us and different routes to take. So it is important when we think about our Bee-Bot to think about where we're going to start. So we were told to start on the castle on this one. We also need to decide which way the Bee-Bot is going to be looking at the start of the program. So here we've got him facing down towards the wizard. And then we need to think about planning out our instructions that we would use to get from the castle to the wood. So we have those 2 different routes. And as you can see here, we've got the blue line and a green line. So if we look at the blue line, we've got the instructions turn right, forwards, turn left, forwards. So we've got here, so we're turning right will turn us towards the owl, because you have to put yourself in the position of where the Bee-Bot's facing, so you might need to move to think about that. And then once we're facing the owl, we go forward once, and we're facing this way now, so we need to turn left so that we're facing down and move forward towards the woods. And that would get us there with 4 instructions. So let's look at the other one, the green one. So we need to go forward, forward, because we're already facing down. So we're going to go forward, forward, so we're on the toadstool. We need to turn right, because remember we're facing down, so we turn right towards the dragon. And then we're going to go forward, because remember we're turning, keeps us on that same square. So then we're going to go forward. We've got to turn right on the square again, so we're turning right, so we're facing upwards now. And then we go forward 1 there. Okay. So when you try these out, remember when we're trying them out as a program, we might want to move our little picture of our robot around to see if we can get there. We might use our finger to follow it to see where we're getting to. And if we make a mistake, remember that's fine. We just need to debug it to find out where in the program we've gone slightly wrong, and it might be that we've missed an instruction or we've got something facing the wrong way. So have a think about that when you're creating yours. So let's have a look at this one. So even more routes here. So this time we've actually got 3 places we need to visit. We have our start on the castle. We have to go to the mushroom house, and then we have to end up on the woods. So this time I've got to go down to the wizard, down to the toadstool, turn round all the way around and go back up to the wizard, turning and going off to the forest, to the woods. So you can turn back on yourself by turning the same direction twice. So if I were doing this, we would go forward, forward, turn right, because turning right twice will turn us all the way back round facing the opposite way. Forward 1, turn left and forward. And that's how you've got to think it through, and think with your finger as you're moving around, or have a go practicing. So what you've got here is this challenge of getting from the start position on the woods to the toadstool with only using those instructions to go left or forwards. So we can't use right and we can't use backwards. So pause the video for a minute and have a think about which you would use and how. Okay, so you might have seen now that the way to do it would be to turn our robot round, because we're facing the owl. So first we would go left and left again, so that we're facing down to our dragon. We're going to turn left again so that we're facing our toadstool house, and go forward, and that's how it is. So what I'd like you to do is have a go, very similar to last time. You've got a mat with some images on, and you've got some cards to work out your start and your end position. But instead of finding the route you would take, I want you to try and find more than one route you would take, and plan out the algorithm for 2 different routes from one starting position to the end position. So have a go at that, and I hope you've enjoyed this series of lessons, and I hope to see you on future ones.